Hey everyone, it is Have a High here, bringing another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. We're going to be doing a breakdown with team builds for the Vegeta and Trunks Extreme Z Battle and their EZAs. So if you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, share, do all that good stuff, and always a shout out to DBZ Space and the Dokkan Wiki for info and images provided. So let's go ahead and get into this. If you don't have these units, you are fortunate because during this celebration, the Saiyan Day celebration, we have received 2 of these coins, these medals that have the Super Saiyan Elite or Vegeta's family lineage crest on there, and you could trade these in and acquire from the Baba shop the SSR units that you need to then TUR and EZA. So the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, the tech one there, and the physical Super Saiyan Trunks are acquirable, free to play, just like how they did for the family Kamehameha, Goku, Goten, and Gohan. They used the red dragon stones for that, but in this case scenario, for this celebration, we're able to get these coins, these medals to trade in the Baba shop. So once you get these units here, whether you already have these units, if you don't, go ahead and acquire them. If you already have these, you can definitely pick them up to open up some paths, maybe rainbow them. But then you're going to go into the Future Trunks saga here in the story mode. It's available now as well, and then you're able to farm up the medals and then awaken TUR these units and prepare them for an Extreme Z Awakening. So let's go ahead and get into the units and see how good these units actually become after the Extreme Z Awakening. So we're going to look at the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Vegeta Blue first, the Bonds Beyond Time. He goes from his leader skill from all types HP, attack, and defense 25% to a really nice buff here to all types key +2 HP, attack, and defense 90%. So if you're looking for a secondary battlefield leader, he might be a really good one for your tech types there. His super attack really doesn't do too much here. It causes supreme damage to the enemy, and that doesn't change for the EZA. I wish it went to immense damage, but stays to its supreme. But it does increase allies' attack from 20% to 30% for one turn. So if you are using this unit, you might put him in the first position. His passive skill goes from attack and defense 70% when facing one enemy to key +2 attack and defense 90% with no restriction. And then on top of that, attack and defense 30% for all allies when 2 or more Vegeta family categories allies are on the team. So it does count himself, so you just need one more Vegeta family category unit on a team to get that 30% buff for everybody. And that's really nice. So if you really think about it, this unit here is, with that 90% and the 30%, is 120% buff to this unit here. So really nice. If you consider this a free-to-play, I know it's during a celebration, but you can consider this free-to-play now using this medal, this item that we got in our mailbox, the family crest item. So Link skills are pretty good. Super Saiyan, Super Warrior Race, Warrior Gods, Prodigies, Royal Lineage, Prepare for Battle, and Shattering Limit. So you want to use a team that has Prepare for Battle and or Shattering Limit on it. Categories is Realm of Gods, Pure Saiyans, Future Saga, Time Travelers, and Vegeta's Family. So for Future Saga and Time Travelers, this unit could be really good because those teams are very limited as it is. So it's nice to see those this unit hopefully be fitting really well in those teams there. But of course, you know, if you don't have the Realm of Gods units or Pure Saiyans or Vegeta's Family, this may fit very well on top of that as well. So the stats increased from 13.8, 13.4, and 9,300 to a pretty decent increase. 16.5, 15.9, almost 16,000 there, and a 10.5 for defense. So this is a viable EZA unit, and you know, kind of mid to high tier when it comes to a free-to-play unit. And being an EZA is very, very useful if you are in that free-to-play realm. So very nice. I do like it a lot. Let's go ahead and move on to the Super Saiyan Trunks Future. A Will Beyond Time. His leader skill goes from all types HP, attack, defense 2,500, which was garbage, to all types key +3 HP, attack, defense 70%. So a god leader skill there. He still stays at supreme damage, so very similar to the Vegeta. It does provide allies an increase in attack, and it increases from 20% to 30%. Passive skill, Humanity's Last Hope, goes from attack and defense 25% for all allies, which is solid, to a way better passive support buff, which is Ki +2, attack and defense 25%. So that Ki +2 is really huge there. And then he does get his own buff of attack and defense 70% when 2 or more Vegeta family category allies are on the team. So he does, you know, at least does some damage instead of just being a straight up support unit. So that's also really nice there. So hopefully, maybe even in the future, those 40% support leaders maybe getting an EZA to maybe do some damage as well, versus just being a support and that's it. So Link skills are okay as well. So it is Golden Warrior, Messenger from the Future, Super Saiyan, Royal Lineage, Dismal Future, Prepare for Battle, and Shattering the Limit. Categories is Hybrid Saiyans, Future Saga, Time Travelers, and Vegeta's family. So a little bit less categories that you can use for the Trunks. The stats go from 14.6 to 12.9 and 9,100 to 17,000, 15.3, and 10.3. So once again, very viable and reasonable increases on these EZAs. So definitely you would want to EZA these units, and yeah, I think they're really good for quote-unquote free-to-play, celebration free-to-plays, that is. So now let's go ahead and get into the Extreme Z battle and what you're needing to do to go ahead and EZA these two units here. So Trunks and Vegeta is going to be the first EZA where you're going to have to fight both when you reach level 20. So it is a little bit different, but it's not overly that hard. It is weak against Realm of Gods, and once again, having both enemies on the field there, it is a little interesting where Int is going to be the type advantage against the Vegeta, and Strength is going to be the type advantage against the Trunks. However, if you do run Int units, remember Int is a type disadvantage to Physical. So most of the time you're going to want to knock out Trunks first when you're fighting, especially when you are going to be fighting both of these at the same time at level 20 and above. For some odd reason, at level 13 is when the major damage mitigation starts. So I don't know why they chose level 13. But once again, shout out to the Dokkan Wiki for this information. And the additional damage reduction is 70% against Super AGL, Tech, and Physical. So if you want to use some units that are extreme AGL, which I wouldn't recommend because it's a type disadvantage against Vegeta, but you could, and you don't want to use tech units or physical units, you're kind of stuck with Int and Strength. And I think Strength is definitely more viable than the Int for Realm of Gods, even though Int, of course, is the Realm of Gods leader for UI Goku. But anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about when we do the team builds, and that is coming right up. So let's go over some team builds and some viable teams that you do want to use for this Extreme Z battle. So first and foremost, I think this is probably the most balanced of all the teams that you can run, and that is using the UI Goku Realm of Gods leader. You're going to be bringing in Strength Goku with that First Awakened buff of that 25%. It is really solid to do some additional damage there. And also you're going to be using Jiren in the main rotation when you're running this team with a floater of the Super Saiyan Blue Strength Goku. That unit's actually really good because he gets an additional bonus when you're fighting 2 or more characters on his attack. In which, in this case, you are going to be doing that. You're going to be bringing in the God Topo as a support, and in this one here, I actually like bringing in the Strength Rose. He does debuff the characters because those are super enemies, and he links okay versus the alts that you see on the bottom there. Those units down there are alts. You can use them. You can switch them around for this team here, but they just don't link up very well. So with that, this is what I call the Balanced Gods team, and pretty much every other team is going to have very similar to all this. It's just the middle row there that I'm going to change on the majority of this. And the next one what you can run is a Beerus team. So I call this Beerus and Gods. You're not going to bring the tech Beerus in here. So if you're JP, you're like, well, why don't I bring the EZA tech in here? Well, if you're bringing that unit in there, you're not doing any damage with that Beerus. In this case scenario, you can do some damage with the Int Beerus here, and he does still link up very well with the LR Beerus. So this team here is still definitely viable, and you can bring in. Oh, you know what what I didn't do. Let me do this here real quick. Is you do have this unit here as a bench unit. So we did take him off. Now we can put him down in the bench there. So so those units down here, you can kind of move them around in the floaters on there. If you don't have God Topo, or if you don't have Strength Godku, you can bring in these other units there. So definitely a viable team. In this case scenario, you do want to probably take out the Trunks first, because he is type advantage against the Int units on this team here. So the next team you can run is what I call Zamasu. So Zamasu is, you're going to be running the Strength Rose with the Int Zamasu. And once again, those are all your alts down there below. Now if you're on JP, you also can run, instead of Zamasu, you can run the Int Goku Black. And he links really well with the Strength Rose. And once again, you're going to be focusing on taking out Trunks first because of the type disadvantage that the Int units are going to have here again. So, I'll add that unit, the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, on there as a floater, or I'm sorry, as an alt. So the Zamasu team can work as well. So those are, I think, the three teams that you can easily complete the EZA with the balanced, with the Beerus and Gods and the Zamasu on global, and then here on JP. So now let's look at free-to-play options. It's a lot harder. So if you look at Realm of Gods free-to-play, these are only units that you can use. So you're going to use the leader of strength. I can't even think right now. The Vegeta Blue, the Strength Vegeta Blue, LR Vegeta Blue, and then the rest of the units are pretty much garbage. You're not going to do much damage or any damage with the tech units there. You're just going to sit there and tank, or try to tank, and then wait for Goku, UI Goku, and your Vegeta Blue to do some damage, and then that's pretty much about it. So this is not a very good team. You do probably just want to mix and match with some other strength units, possibly even some Int units here. And so you can run maybe this free-to-play team where you're running more LRs. You only have 2 Realm of Gods units here when it comes with the West Kai, the strength free-to-play West Kai, and the LR Vegeta Blue. But then since you're running a bunch of Int units in here, you do want to take out the physical Trunks. But this is still going to be very, very difficult because you're not going to get that mitigation from running a lot of Realm of God. So you might want to do like a mix and match, or try to do as best as you can with these units here to run a free-to-play. But it's pretty difficult free-to-play comparable to other EZAs. And once again, you're fighting against two enemies. So with that, once again, I think this probably team is going to be the easiest of them all to run. So if you do have these units, run this and you'll be just fine. So with that, hopefully you guys got a lot of information about this Extreme Z battle and EZA, the breakdown with some team builds here. So if you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, share, do all that good stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Keep on Dokkaning, and we will catch you next time.